What in the hell is that? Is that Mike the cop?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Are you Officer 401?
I am. Are you Mike the cop?
I am.
Well, hop in.
Sweet. Hey, what's in here?
What?
You
Why?
got is your insurance up to date and all that stuff? Or
Yeah. Why are you going through my glove box?
do I get the aux cord?
No, it's in there for a reason. Why are you going through my
Is that
stuff,
a
man?
knife? Oh, all right. What do we got? You mind if I use your Blistex?
Well, it's probably kind of gooey.
Oh. Hey, listen. I need a little bit of cash for the ride home. Can I get this?
No,
What
man.
is
I need that. I need that for food.
For food?
Yeah.
You're famous, bro.
I eat from time to time.
Ah, what's this?
It's
Is
gear
this got a
shift.
Hemi? Is this the Hemi?
Yeah, it is.
Is that a stick? I bet you really like to hold on to that a lot, don't you?
So what? Is there something I can help you with?
Look at this. You got, man, just what I needed right now.
What are you? What are you drawing?
I'm gonna draw you like one of my French girls, bro.
Okay, you know what, man? I tell you what. Why don't you step out and
Step out.
yeah,
Just pick me up.
Well, yeah, I think it'd be a good idea if we go our own separate ways.
Whatever, man. Well, I guess it was nice meeting you.
Oh, it was nice to meet you too.
Okay, you sure I can't have that buck?
No.
Oh,
No.
all right. Fine. Whatever. I'm unsubscribing.
Whatever, buddy.
I wasn't gonna draw your face. It was just your body.
Hey guys, what is going on? Today is a awesome day, long awaited. Mike the cop is here with me.
Bro, I am living a dream right now. I feel like I've stepped inside my computer right now.
Is it weird being in the car, like the famous Charger?
It is. It's like a child getting to go to Disneyland or Disney World, whichever one's the better one.
Well, that is awesome. I used to watch you and Officer Daniels before I ever started this channel, so it's weird to actually have you in the car now. It's pretty cool.
I love it, man. Yeah, I think I first saw you on YouTube maybe around somewhere between the 2,000 and 4,000 subscriber mark.
Oh wow,
That's where
okay.
I was
That was a while
started
ago
seeing
then.
some of your videos.
Well, it was really cool because, like, and I've told my users this before. I never expected my channel to blow up the way it did, and it was really like 2 or 3 videos that made me jump from like 7,000 to 202,000 in a couple weeks. So
Yeah, I don't think I was probably not on as much as you were on the computer, but I was literally refreshing your YouTube channel like throughout my days. Like, wow, this is crazy. Look at this.
well, and a lot of people were, and it's funny because even some of the comments now, I guess, like people that have I don't know, taken a break from YouTube or whatever, like they'll log in and they'll be like, holy shit, man, like you have jumped hugely in subscribers. So guys, today Mike is with me. He is in town just for tonight. He's leaving tomorrow morning. So he was nice enough to come see me, and we're going to do this video together. And he's leaving first thing in the morning. So we're going to film this video, and then I think we're going to go out and have some lunch. I'm going to have some drinks, and we're going to have a good time.
Nothing
So
but water in this temple.
yeah, we'll go with water. So there are a few questions that some of you have asked in the last video. I'm sure you guys remember I told you to give me some questions in the comment section below, and I would ask Mike while he's in the car with me. So let's get started with the first one. Reality is Undeniable says, Mike, does your sense of humor ever get you in trouble with your supervisors?
It's never gotten me a day off, but it's gotten me a few talkings too.
We need to amp it up then.
Yeah, I feel like before I'm done being a cop, like if I ever have the chance to like do well enough to step away or become part-time or something, I really do want to be suspended one time. Even if it's just honorary, I want to just say something and for the record piss somebody off enough to say like, that's it, give me your shield.
Life goals.
Don't do that at home, kids.
Chaz Tex asks, Mike, does being bald make you more aerodynamic when you chase bad guys?
It does. It really does, for sure. I can't, if there's a fence, I have to go through it because I can go really fast one direction, but I can't like go vertical.
Being bald does make him a gazelle. So Mark Gusha asks, Mike, what makes a good street partner and what makes a bad one?
Well, it's actually a really good question.
That's a very good question.
For me, there's a handful of guys that I trust to ride in a car with. So with those people that I have chosen to ride with, or that have chosen to ride with me, and the feeling's mutual, so to speak. I mean, minus the long walks on the beaches, but I think that it comes down to both guys have to have the same work ethic. Is probably really key. So if one guy isn't a worker and one guy is, that's probably not going to work. So I think if you both can find that medium of what kind of pace you like to work, what kind of things you like to get into. Some guys want to work dope, some guys want to work traffic, whatever. I think you need to find that blend, and that needs to be key. You got to have someone that you can actually joke around with, or not joke around with. Maybe you both talk about the stock market while you're riding around, or whatever it is that you want to do. But I think you need to have personalities that mesh well, even if they're different, but they somehow work together on the road. And then people who take safety and officer tactics at the highest level possible. I think if I can't depend on the guy sitting next to me on the road, what am I doing in that car? And vice versa. I want to be that guy for my partner. So I think those probably are the three things in my mind that just immediately jump out. I could be missing something.
Well, I think everybody has like this misconception that like all cops are the same, all cops get along. I can tell you firsthand, any patrol shift that I have been on, I can count maybe 2 or 3 people in the room that I can see myself working with inside of the same car.
Yeah.
Like there's some people I would never ever go to a call with just us two. Like
right.
send me a third person because I might as well be by myself right now.
Yep, I 100% know the feeling.
Kayla Helser says, Mike the Cop is every fangirl's moment. Oh, hey.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Is that a threat?
No, I don't know. I would take it as a compliment.
I guess I'll choose to take it that way.
Officer 401 does not have fangirls because nobody knows what Officer 401 looks like.
He is an amazing specimen. No homo.
I sound like I belong in a petri dish. So Nelson Green asked, do you prefer patrolling by yourself or with a partner? I think this kind of ties into what we were talking about before, but would you rather be by yourself all night or rather have somebody to talk with?
All things being equal, I always would rather work with someone, because I think it's not only does it make the night go along faster, better, but more enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
And then, it's the safest option in my mind. It's always better to have 2-man cars than it is to have 2 guys in 2 separate cars. So I would always prefer that. But like you said earlier, I would sometimes say, like, I'll just work by myself, and I'd be okay with that. And that would actually be better that night anyway, because I'll perform better just working by myself instead of just working with someone that I might not work very well with.
See, Mike brings up a good point, and that's officer safety. But I hate to say it, man, but like, I don't know. I'm such a loner, and I enjoy being by myself. I don't want to ride with somebody constantly.
Yeah.
And that's just me. Like, I like doing my own thing. I like going at my own pace. I don't want to have to either depend on somebody else or feel like I need to keep up with them, if they're more go than I am. I don't know. It's like a constant pressure. You don't have any privacy. Me personally, I like being alone.
Yeah, I think the 2 guys like that I ride with most regularly kind of have like an understanding at the beginning of the shift. Like, are we digging today? Like, are we going out there and shaking the trees, or are we going to answer our calls and whatever? And we can respect each other's privacy. Like, hey, I'm going to go make a phone call, or hey, I'm gonna handle this or whatever. And that's part of that. If you guys have that understanding with each other about how you want to operate during the day, then that makes it great. But I'm with you. Sometimes you just want to be like, leave me alone for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. When cops get together, we talk about the weirdest shit. Like, we'll talk about, like, different equipment, like, what kind of boots do you guys wear? Like, what kind of radio traffic do you guys have? Stuff like that. So, getting to radio traffic, do you guys use plain talk, or do you use 10 codes, signals? Like, what is the thing up there?
100% plain talk.
Really?
I mean, there's a few holdovers. It's real common to hear 14. So that's like obviously 10 plus 4. So the 10-4. I think that's sort of like a Detroit area thing. A lot of people know what that is up there, but if I probably said it down here, be like, oh, 14. Like, people would be like, what? What's that mean? Other than that, the most common thing that anybody would know of, like 10-4 or something, but we don't use that. It's all just plain talk. Because I have people reach out on, like, they'll send me a snap or something on Instagram, and it's like, hey, whenever you're 10:8, let's 10:19, and we'll do a 10:21, and I'm like, 10, what the are you talking about?
Sorry, bro. I'm busy taking a 10-200 right now.
Exactly. I don't know what that means. And then they vary by agencies, so it's like, I have no idea.
That's weird, man. Like, we use Plain Talk for a lot of stuff, but technically, I mean, we're supposed to use 10 codes. But there's certain things like, you know, maybe like things that you don't use very often. A lot of times they'll just use Plain Talk. But like whenever we arrive somewhere, we're 1023. Whenever we are en route somewhere, we're 1076. It's really weird that different cops use different 10 codes. You would think that every department would basically be the same.
You would think. When I first started, I was at a different department when I got hired, and we had 10-8, which was that we were clear from a call. It was like, I guess, clear and available. 10-9 was repeat because I didn't understand you.
It's the same way here.
10-17 was we're making an arrest. So that was like,
oh shit,
hey, he's going to be 10-17. So we could say that, and the bad guy would not know, like, oh, they're about to put the cuffs on me. 10-19 was return to the station.
That's the same.
10-18, I think, was lunch. Like, am I clear to 10-18? So I did use some of that. Like, maybe six of them were really common. But that was just that department's kind of like thing. It wasn't real common.
See, that's really weird because I'm hearing you use certain 10 codes. Like 1017 for us is an armed robbery.
Oh, yeah.
1018 means get your ass there quickly. Like for us, if we're going to arrest somebody, it's 1095. But we usually don't call that until afterward because a lot of the people on the street, especially people that have been locked up before, they know exactly what 1095 is.
Yeah.
They know exactly what Signal 100 or 1099, which means wanted.
Yeah.
They know what that means. So as soon as you hear like dispatch say Signal 100 over the radio, it's just their ass and elbows down the street.
Yeah.
So that's probably more convenient. I would think that you guys use Plain Talk instead of trying to figure out 104 10 codes.
Yeah, it does make life pretty simple.
So Vance Dunn asks, what was your experience with police officers before you were a police officer?
I had a family member that was a police officer, and another family member that had been a reserve police officer ever since I was a little kid. In fact, that's sort of what turned me on to law enforcement. Was I remember being a little kid, and my dad had a scanner, and we would hear radio traffic, and I was like, thrilled at listening to cops on the radio. And ever since then, that was just something that stuck with me. And then in college, I worked in like loss prevention at a store or whatever, catching shoplifters, and got to meet cops and hang out with them a little bit. And as I did that, it just became more and more of something that I was like, man, I really could see myself doing this. I think this would be a good fit. So all of my experiences were positive. Yes, I had been pulled over. Yes, I had gotten tickets. Yes, I smoked marijuana once. And no, I've never been arrested.
Well, that's good. Just once, huh?
I tried it once. That's on all my background investigation packets.
Oh, okay. We'll just stick with once then.
I could ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
All of the people who follow me and who follow you are hoping that I am the portal through which you will walk into revealing your face. I mean, how am I going to let them all down?
You're going to have to fight me for that camera. So I'm sure that a lot of your users, like they probably know your whole history. I'm sure they've been very dedicated to watching you and stuff. But for the people that watch my channel, can you kind of explain to them exactly how Mike the Cop came to be?
Yeah, I mean, the pretty short version is that I had started coming alongside a lady named Elizabeth Ogden. She started Humanizing the Badge, and we started working together, and that became a big priority and passion in my life to do something to give back to the law enforcement community through Humanizing the Badge as an organization. And as that grew, I found this guy, Officer Daniels, on Vine. One of the guys at work brought me his videos, and we're like, look at this. And I was just laughing, and I was like, this is awesome. And as we thought about ways that we could reach law enforcement officers, we could reach people who are on the fence or skeptical about police, or just in general, the general public, how am I going to reach them? It was like, man, if he can do that and be reaching people, maybe that's something that I could do. So I just started kind of testing the waters with some videos, and it seemed like it was a good response. And then that became like, what am I going to go by? And I'm like, well, I'm Mike and I'm a cop. And Mike the Cop, and I just started making videos that I felt like just made me laugh and I enjoyed making, and it seems like people seem to relate to it, and here I am, just making videos.
So how long have you been doing it total?
I started making short videos probably the fall of 2015, and I started Mike the Cop officially in like February of 16. So
Oh, okay. Oh well, hell, you're not far behind me then.
just a little baby.
We're just toddlers.
So I'm gonna add on to that, because one of the things that made me a fan of yours was a video where you're sort of explaining why it is that you do what you do, and you're really open about saying you want to create transparency between law enforcement and non-law enforcement. So what drives you to want to do that? Where did that start for you? Like, I want to show people like a glimpse into the mind of a cop.
The whole channel started based off of another YouTuber and an experience that I had with him, and I was at work when it happened, and I'll probably go into that someday, but it'll be kind of identifying, I guess, which is kind of why I've hesitated from talking about it too much on the channel. But basically, he ended up giving me a shout out in his video, and I never told him to like put because I had a YouTube channel, but I never used it for anything, and I just had a couple like bullshit videos up there. Well, he ends up linking my channel, and the next morning I woke up with like 2,200 subscribers, and I had 145 over 10 years. So
Well, that's because your cooking show was kind of a flop.
You don't like salsa?
Oh wait, no, you made good salsa.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Who doesn't like salsa? Of course, I'm Mexican, so I don't know if I love salsa because it's delicious or because I'm genetically predisposed to liking salsa.
It's racist.
It's so racist. Anyway, he gives me this shout out, and he links my channel and all that, and all of a sudden, like, all these people started saying that I should do cop vlogs, and they had questions about law enforcement and why we did certain things, and you know, there was already officers that were doing funny material like you and Officer Daniels. There was nobody that was really giving details about the job, you know, how to get out of speeding tickets, the secret behind speeding tickets and stuff like that. So I kind of found that was my niche to work my way into and answer some of those questions. And along the way, it's become so weird that people have emailed me saying that they are now in the police academy because they watch my videos. I've had people graduate from the academy and send me pictures. I've had people tell me that they hated cops, like they just flat out hated anybody with a badge until they started watching my channel.
That's awesome.
So to receive email messages like that is just that is definitely my motivation to keep going. And like I said, I never expected this to become the community that it has. And a lot of people told me it's not a community, it's more of a cult, because I try to be so involved with the users. You know, I have the chat room set up, I have my website set up, and I'm constantly in there trying to talk to people and engage them. That it kind of brought a new aspect, I guess, to YouTube, and for whatever reason, it just happened to work.
Yeah, it works. I've learned a lot from watching your videos. I've learned a lot from watching how you interact with your fans, the people that follow you and keep up with you, and definitely motivates me too. Because like, as strange as it sounds, it's like it's easy for me to lose motivation after doing this for a while, but then to see guys like you doing stuff, it's like, man, well, we're not alone in all wanting to do something to give back, not only to the law enforcement community, but to the community at large, you know, doing something that's positive.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So once we make enough money off of YouTube, are we going to open up a chain of steakhouses? Like,
I was thinking male strip clubs.
Blue beef? Blue steak?
Well, I would call mine pink beef, but that's a different establishment.
Yeah. I think they have one in Vegas.
Come to Blue Beef to eat, and then go to Pink Beef for something else.
Dessert,
yeah. We'll bring the whipped cream.
All right, my last question for you is, was it hard to tell your mom
To tell her what?
that you're gay?
It was harder to tell her that I'm Asian.
Did you see like an Asian guy delivering your mail early on, like when you're 8?
I don't know. I think there's a milkman somewhere in there.
Do you have carpal tunnel syndrome in your left hand from all your videos?
No, I just have a very intense tan on my left arm.
What is the fastest you've driven in a patrol car?
The fastest I've gone in my patrol car was 136 miles an hour, and that was only because an officer was calling out for backup. That's the only time I will break 100 miles an hour. That
Yeah.
sounds really shitty.
Why? Why does that sound bad?
Because like, oh well, if I'm dying, he's only gonna go 98. But if Mike the cop is dying, now we're going fucking light speed.
Well, you have me beat. I was at 128.
I don't know, man. Looking back at the decisions I made as a younger officer, if you wreck at 136 miles an hour, man, like you're done.
It's over.
It is over.
Even at that level, it's like you're still not going to be worth anything if you're not there.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to be able to get there.
Exactly. If I crash, then they have to take care of my ass and then still get to the other officers. So, yeah, the most I'll do now is like 110, and that's kind of rare.
I'll only even anymore these days in my career. I'll only hit like 68, maybe 69 when Krispy Kreme turns a light on. That's like, I'll push it a little bit, but.
Well, guys, that is it for today. I appreciate you joining me. I know that all of you were very anxious about meeting Mike the cop. The reason why I was not able to get a video out the other day was because Mike's flight was actually canceled. Well, it was delayed, but it was delayed to the point where it was going to be like a day or two before he could fly out. So we decided just to cancel, and he rebooked. And anyway, he's here today. I'm very excited to have him here. Mike, thank you for joining us.
Dude, thanks for having me. I'm in the car. This is amazing. And tonight, for the sleepover, I mean, big spoon, little spoon.
I prefer it to be the outside spoon.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Guys, thanks again for joining. I appreciate it, as always. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below, and Mike will probably be able to answer them on one of his many good live feeds that he does, and we will address whatever questions you have. Thanks again for the support. Mike, thanks again for being here, and we will see you guys soon.